I sit corrected. McLevin said, well, if Shane Ray, the Missouri defensive lineman, falls, someone would get a bargain. I said, well, he's not going to fall that far. He just got popped for marijuana on Monday. Pro Football Talk has a article. As Shane Ray's stock plummets, talk that he could fall to round 4. Whoa. Holy smokes. Well, no pun intended. But Shane Ray falling to the 4th round. He was going to be a top 10 pick, McLevin.
That's somebody's. Actually, it was Mark Dominic, former Bucs GM, who said that. Who knows?
Wait, that he could be a top 10 pick?
That he could fall all the way down to round 4. It does seem like this is awfully close to the draft to have that kind of infraction.
Okay. Well, it is. I have a problem with the stupidity here, but you go from at least first round to the 4th round because of this? Is Randy Gregory dropping? He tested positive for the combine. All right. Paul Burmeister, former Iowa gunslinger. He could spin it. Quarterback, now working for NBCSN. He joins us here in the Man Cave. Do you buy into this, Shane Ray, stock plummeting?
Probably a little bit, but I mean, at that position, if the guy can get after the quarterback, he is likely going to go in the first round. Now, I was listening to you earlier. I don't think he goes in the top half of the first round now. But
Because of this?
Because of this, because of the foot, that when he went to the combine recheck in Indianapolis, red flags raised there.
Yeah.
Because it's a really strong edge rushing class. I mean, there are others you can take that don't have these issues. Now, Randy Gregory has some stuff, as we say, off the field, but I think bottom half of the first round. Although tonight on a Pro Football Focus draft that Chris Collinsworth and I are hosting, they do this thing called pass rush productivity. And it's not about sacks. It's about how you pressure the quarterback against the best teams you play against. The number 1 ranked edge rusher in this class is Shane Ray.
But how much baggage is too much baggage now for an NFL team?
At that, are we still talking edge rusher, or are we talking?
Well, so it's varying degrees depending on your position?
Yeah. I think so.
Let's remove quarterback, because quarterback, you want somebody, face of your franchise, being smart, good decisions on and off the field. Is there another position, though, where it's second to that?
I think they're all tied for second. I mean, quarterback is way out in front that way in what you're looking for. And everything after that, I think teams are willing to live with a little bit. Now, in this environment, maybe it's a little different than it was 2 years ago. But I do think there's a certain amount of, again, stuff that teams are willing to live with outside of the quarterback position.
But we're far more lax when it comes to certain things, and then far more attentive with other things. Now we're looking for, any kind of sexual abuse and anything to do with violence off the field. Marijuana, I think that 10 years ago people would panic, and I mean we've seen draft picks drop, very, very, very far because of marijuana rumors.
Right
now, I think it's more of if you got busted for it, it's when you got busted, not leading up to the combine or getting pulled over for speeding the week of the draft.
Right.
I have problems with that.
As you should. I used to work with a former general manager who said anybody who tests positive at the combine or gets in this kind of trouble leading up to the draft, number 1, they're stupid, or number 2, they're an addict. I mean, either way, do you want to draft someone like that high? So even though there may be a little more lenience with marijuana, as you pointed out, than there was 10 years ago, you are crossing the line into what I just said. This person either isn't very bright or has a problem with that drug, and either way, it's a big red flag.
But Shane Ray's now a bargain, and teams love a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's it say about a team? They wouldn't take him in the first 2 rounds, but if he's there in the 3rd or 4th round, we're going to take him.
That's value.
Oh, okay.
Right? This time of year.
Yeah, okay.
That's what you get. So I still think first round, but I don't think top half of the first round.
Okay. You've been watching quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You've been watching tape here. We keep focusing on Mariota and Winston. Are they by far and away the best quarterbacks that can anybody come close to them in the next couple of years?
Well, the next couple of years, you never know. I mean, there's always the Russell Wilson example, and maybe a level further away from that, the Andy Dalton, Colin Kaepernick going in the 2nd round. So down the road, it's a projection and a guess. But right now, for the way the evaluation goes, I don't think Bryce Petty and Brett Hundley are even close. I mean, I don't think they go in the 2nd round. I think it's the top 2. And then maybe in the 3rd round, we see another quarterback go. So I think the gap is really big right now.
If Cardale Jones had come out,
mm-hmm.
where would he go?
I think he'd be right there with Huntley and Petty. I don't think that's a first-round quarterback right now.
What about Connor Cook at Michigan State?
Pretty raw. I mean, he has more experience than Jones. I don't think he's as talented, but potential first-round pick. But I did one of his games a couple of years ago, and it's a fantastic athlete and a guy who's getting better. But, I mean, that's pretty raw to take in the first round right now.
But they're not doing spread, whereas Mariota's doing a spread. And it seems like if you're in – Winston is rated higher because he didn't run a spread, that he's running a pro system. And that's the knock against Mariota, to make that transition where you have to actually have reads. You have to call plays. You can't just look to the sideline there.
Right.
So it seemed like they would be ahead of him with the transition to the pros. They may not be as good, but they've already got a head start on that.
Correct. And I think what you touched on there, to me, is the biggest reason why Jameis Winston has moved ahead and kind of stayed ahead of Marcus Mariota, because of the offense he ran. And we all talk about the arm strength and all that, but he had to go to the line of scrimmage after huddling up, and the defense had time to huddle up too and come after him. So he had to get up to the line, see what the defense was doing from a blitz standpoint, know where his hot was, know what his protection was supposed to do, and then execute that play. And when you run a hurry-up spread in the way that Oregon did, a defense can't get together and come after you the way it wants to come after you. So people throw out there, he's from a spread offense, he can't play in the NFL. To me, one of the specifics is of the way Oregon ran that spread offense, Mariota didn't have to get to the line of scrimmage and see different kinds of blitzes and get his protection going the right way and drop back 5 steps and get rid of it. He didn't have to do that. He might be able to, but they don't know if he can, because he didn't have to do it that much at Oregon. And there's all the questions about Winston, and plenty of them legit, but you can watch him at the line of scrimmage do what he's supposed to do as an NFL quarterback. He did that in college, and he did it pretty well.
The whole spread offense is fascinating because that's all kids are running now. They're running in 7-on-7s. They're doing high school, junior college, that they can put up big numbers. I'm just not sure what the validity of the numbers that spread quarterbacks put up.
You're right.
I just don't know, because I think you have a great coaching staff, sometimes more than you have a great quarterback.
Right. And some of the stats, Dan, that you could normally look at, or that you want to look at and say, okay, how did he play? How does he project to the NFL? If someone completes 68% of their passes from that kind of offense, you can't look at that and say, that's great. I mean, a lot of those throws, I hate to say easy, but they're easier than some of the throws that are pushed downfield. So it's difficult to look at stats because of the spread offense and know how well a guy is going to project to the next level, because the stats with those kind of throws, with that kind of offense, and again, limiting the defense in what they can do and how they come after you. I mean, it's the numbers now are much different, much more difficult to read and project to the next level.
He's Paul Burmeister, NBCSN. Tonight, 5:30 Eastern with Chris Collinsworth, Pro Football Focus.
We have, we have 6 o'clock Pro Football Talk with Mike Florio.
Yeah.
And then 7 o'clock Pro Football Focus, grading the draft.
What is the focus tonight?
Of the draft show.
Yeah.
It is Pro Football Focus. They have these analytics. They're kind of ahead of, I think they're doing more with stats. Like we're talking about traditional stats. Yeah. They don't use that. They have their own brand of stats you can learn about tonight. And their big calling card for the draft is they've watched every play of every draft eligible player. So they'll apply everything they learned to that hour long tonight.
Sabermetrics for football?
It's next level stats, however you want to label it. It's next level. And a lot of NFL teams have bought in and they use it as well, just because of the specifics of what they do with their stats. Like,
explain to me this, though, Paul. Jameis Winston's not the best player in this draft, right?
Nope.
He's probably not even close to being the best player in this draft, right?
I'd say he's not.
Okay. Why is the best player not being taken, number one?
Because Tampa Bay is at 1 and they need a quarterback.
But you're not sure about Jameis Winston.
No.
You can hope, but if I know that Fowler, Beasley, Williams, Cooper, Kevin White, if I know they're great, they will be great, why am I taking a chance at 1?
So you're going to go into the season, and not only this season, but the next 5 seasons, and say Mike Glennon's my guy?
I would rather have Mike Glennon if I knew the guy I'm drafting is going to be an all-pro for the next 5 years.
But you don't know that. You might think it's a safer pick, but you don't know that Dante Fowler is going to be a terrific player. He may seem less risky than a quarterback.
Let's say I take Amari Cooper.
Okay.
Let's say I get, Amari Cooper and Mike Glennon's my quarterback. Can I get by with Mike Evans, Mike Glennon, Amari Cooper?
And Vincent Jackson?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why am I running the risk of taking a guy that we're not quite sure? This is where NFL teams do this all the time. Somebody's going to make a stupid move in the first round. They're going
a number of them.
Yes. I'm going to take, and they've studied for months now, and they're going to do this. Why is that?
A part of it is it goes outside of football evaluation into bosses want their guy. Jason Light's the GM there. He didn't pick Mike Glennon. I mean, he doesn't want to see that glass as half full. He wants his guy. He wants the organization to have a new face that he picked. Lovie Smith didn't have anything to do with Mike Glennon being there.
Yeah.
So those two guys have the most power in that building.
Can't you like somebody? If somebody took over for Seattle, do you think they'd get to know and like Russell Wilson?
Sure, but Russell Wilson, Mike Glennon hasn't shown that.
Well, he beat out Russell Wilson.
Did he?
No, they kicked him out. They basically said, hey, we need you to leave if you don't want to just play football. But I think that bothers me that the best guy in this draft is not going to be the number one pick.
I think Tennessee is having that serious conversation in their building, though, about trying to fall for a guy, Zach Mettenberger, might not be the sexy pick, but they're basically asking themselves, who's going to be the best quarterback over the next 10 years?
I would do the same thing if I'm Tennessee.
That's what I'm saying.
I would stay with Mettenberger. I would trade out of that and give me 2 first-round draft picks. I need help there.
You need a lot of help.
I do. All right. Tonight at 5:30 is Pro Football Talk.
6 is Pro Football Talk.
Okay.
7 is Pro Football Focus, grading the draft.
On the NBC Sports Network. He's Paul Burmeister. Thanks for making the road trip, Paul.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll come back to your phone calls. Play of the day next. This is The Dan Patrick Show.